Guys. You didn't see that. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. Welcome to Nosy Bystander to Live. Okay. So we got a lot to talk about today because it's obviously ghetto today, like as usual, as per usual, on the internet across all social media. But specifically this week, we're going to be talking about chefs and not like the cooking food network chefs, not like all the good fun recipes during the holiday season, but the ridiculous and ghetto ones that we all know to love. And starting off the week, we're going to be discussing Darius Cooks. So he starts off today. And then tomorrow, we're going to get into Chef Law Cannon. So to start off the week, let's get the news out of the way so we can get right to Darius Cooks. Now, as you guys have already known, which I'm sure you guys have already seen, our good friend Bishop Whitehead, Lord, was incarcerated today. He was by the federal prosecutors, and I believe in the Southern District of New York. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the Southern District of New York. And we're going to get into the details of that case. But first, let's see who's all in the building because I'm late. Okay, I was producing a show. Hello, Miss Black Miss Frizzle. Hello, Contia says hello, everyone. Hello, are you new here? And welcome. Hello, Pia. Hello, AC. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Candace. Hello, Anastasia. Hello, Waishan. Hello, Ayana. Hello, Ebony. Hello, Shan. Hello, Jen the Great. Hello, the Life Arena. What's up, T? T says, hello, family. Hello. Also, me says, hey, y'all. Got the wine ready to be nosy. Not y'all with the wine. You know, I had lunch today and I had wine for lunch today. I had wine during lunch today. Okay. So no shame to you because I did have wine during lunch today. Hello, OC Davis. Hello, half crazy. How you doing today? Hello, Binky. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Big Dream. Big Dreamer says, hey, happy Monday, Steph and Nosy Cousins. Hey, hello, Sapphire Baby. Hello, Silver. Hello, Hope Beyonce. This is Beyonce's Target. What is it? Private Select, which is a brand of Safeway. This is Private Select's version of Beyonce. Hello, Jerica. Hello, Cami. Hello, Dion. Dion says, hi, everyone. I got my snacks and I am ready to go. Hello, Mommy and Mosho. How you doing today? Hello, Missy. Hello, BB. Let's see where Facebook at, because Facebook is always late and they always at the bottom. So we got to scroll all the way to the bottom because there's a lot of comments in here. Hello, Diana. How you doing today? Hello, Tovania. Hello, Sign Tiffany. Hello, Calypso. Hello, Kauai Jamaican. Hello, KP. KP says, your great friend that's scamming ain't mine. Saying so, Chief. Not you, boo. Not me, what? This is from Silver says, Gucci prison suit. Not the Gucci prison suit, y'all make me sick. This is from Komora says, hey girl, what's up, Nosy Fam? Hello, how you doing today? And this from Lisa from Facebook. So shout out to Facebook for being here because we know y'all be the latest. And y'all don't even correct me either. Y'all just be like, we know we late. Y'all always late. And that's okay. We don't mind y'all being late sometimes, okay? We're okay with that, all right? On a humble. So let's get into this article here that I pulled up from, is it Power 107? Y'all good friend Mr. Bishop Whitehead got himself into some legal trouble. Now, the funny enough, let me preface this by saying this guy right here has a video posted on his Instagram because I don't think he's been back on Instagram. He's got a video posted on his Instagram, and I was talking about it today with a friend, and he is trying to accuse our good friend of the show, Larry Reed, of calling the popos on him. And we just not going to stand for it, okay? We are just not going to stand for it. So, no, that is incorrect. That's infallibly incorrect. Larry Reed has nothing to do with the fact that this man is in federal custody. I just want to make sure that's abundantly clear. Not the bishop. Yes, honey, the bishop. So let's get into this article. This article is by Hot 97. Let me correct myself. I said Power 105. This article is by Hot 97. Close all these ads, good Lord. And it starts off with Bishop Whitehead was reportedly arrested for fraud, extortion, and false statements. According to the reports, FBI Assistant Director Michael Driscoll said, as we allege today, Whitehead carried out several duplicitous, whatever that word is, schemes in order to receive funds from his victims. Additionally, when speaking with authorities, Whitehead consistently chose to mislead and to lie to them. If you're willing to attempt to obtain funds through false premises or threats, the FBI will ensure that you are made to face the consequences for your actions in our criminal justice system. Back in July, Bishop Whitehead made headlines as he and a few of his he and a few armed robbers rushed into his church and robbed him while he was on live stream. Federal prosecutors accused Bishop Whitehead of defrauding one of his parishioners out of approximately $90,000 of her retirement savings, attempting to extort and defraud a businessman and lying to the FBI. He convinced her to invest her savings into him, but instead spent the money on himself, including luxury goods. Whitehead carried out several duplicitous schemes in order to receive the funds from that victim. Crazy. So Bishop Whitehead is... I want to get to the comments. Because listen, y'all know that when we were talking about that robbery that he had went through with earlier in this year during the summertime, I think. Yeah, I believe it was in the summertime. A lot of people had stated that he was a part of it. He was not, you guys. Now, it's not to say that he's not a part of this fraud scheme that the federal government has out against him, but when it came to that robbery, he, again, you guys, he did not take part in that. So I want to make sure we got that abundantly clear. Because someone is attempting to do crime in one facet does not always negate that they are doing crime in another one. So because he defrauded that woman doesn't mean he was involved in a scheme for the robbery. They caught those individuals, and those individuals never, not one time while in federal custody, stated that Bishop Whitehead told us to do it. So I want to make sure we make that abundantly clear. Because he was not involved in that case does not negate that he is a part of this other case. Okay. Yes, he did, honey. This from YMV says Whitehead is about to speak jam while he's gone. I don't know what that means. This is from Cake Baker says, late for the nosy class. Hey, how you doing today? Anastasia says, Jada in the building with me. Who's Jada? This from Big Dreamer says, Mr. Potato Head glasses. This is from Angela says, oh boy, you snapped some church folks up about him. Did I? Listen, if you are a big staunch fan of Bishop Whitehead, that's your business. Okay. That's your business. If you're okay with somebody defrauding a woman out of her entire life savings, again, that's your business. I know Bishop Whitehead has a large crowd of women who flock to him because, I guess, in the hopes that he'll leave his wife for them. I'm not entirely sure. But I know he does have a true tried supporters, mostly comprised of women. This from Allison says, a mess. That's what he is. Very true. This from B. Ashland says, hey, Nosy Peeps, I hope I didn't miss much. No, you did not. This from Tamiri says, can someone help me fix my live? It don't ever want to play on my TV and I'm tired. Well, when you sharecast it on your TV, the best advice I can give you is make sure before you sharecast it on your TV that you're logged into YouTube on your TV first. So go to the YouTube app on your TV, log in, and then sharecast it. That's the best advice I can give to you. If not, I am so sorry. This is from Tweet 2001 says, Nosy went off in her video on Larry Reed and the other bloggers, but Larry was contacted by the feds. That's how he knew that the bishop would be charged. Exactly. That's exactly what he told me. Now, Bishop Whitehead stated that Larry Reed had reached out to the feds to try to throw him under the bus, but the feds had reached out to Larry Reed prior to all of this stuff coming about. So yeah, that's absolutely correct. This from Jazzy Old Lady says, Bishop name brand does too much, untrustworthy. That's right. This from BB says, Stephanie, he set it up. That's why they can't find the third person. He set it up. Who's he? Can you be a little bit more specific? BB, be a little bit more specific. Who is he? Hello, So Slice Simone says, not tech person in the middle of the snow and the show. You can get a little bit of everything here. You sure can. This is from Summer Slyer says, I'm super late, but hey, how you doing today? And this is from Angela, and it says, no, honey, you twisted what I'm saying. He was defending him. I don't know if you guys are talking to me. I feel like you guys are tussling in the comments. Be nice to one another, okay? I can't help you in the comments. There are no moderators. So good luck and Godspeed in the comments, okay? So back to Bishop Whitehead. So yeah, so he was thoroughly convicted. You're not going to get a mugshot. There are no mugshots in the federal government. So you're not going to get that. He's probably not going to get a bond. If I had to take a wild guess, he's going to get a bond hearing sometime this week. I don't know if he's going to get a bond. I don't think he will. He's got a prior history already. He's got a prior history already. So I'm not entirely, I don't know why I'm whispering, but you guys, I'm not entirely sure that Bishop Whitehead is going to be able to not get convicted of this because of his prior history. You understand what I mean? He's out allegedly. Is he? Did he get a bond? I don't think he did. I can look it up. Let's see. He is out. Yeah, he is. Here, I'll share my screen. Hold on one second. You guys, absolutely correct. Look at y'all. They got the photos too. Yeah, this is him leaving Pearl Street. I don't know where he's at, but this is him leaving. I wish they get rid of all these ads. My word. Okay, hold on. Yeah, but this is him leaving. Okay, it says here Lamar Whitehead leaves federal court after his arraignment on Monday. His campaign of fraud and deceit stops now, U.S. Attorney Damon Williams said in a statement after Whitehead's arrest. If you're willing to attempt to obtain funds with false promises and threats, the FBI will ensure that you face the consequences for your actions in any criminal system. Bishop Whitehead pled not guilty in his arraignment in Manhattan, that's the Southern District of New York, courts, and was released on a $500,000 bond. Whew! Mr. Whitehead had to give up 50 racks. He had to give up $50,000. I can't imagine just handing that over, but for my freedom, I would. Whew. It says that the preacher who lives in New Jersey will also have his travel restricted to the tri-state area as part of his bond package. Outside of court, Whitehead wears a white shirt, a cap, camouflage pants, stood by his attorney, Dawn Florio, who said that her client denied the charges. We are we are vigorously going to defend these accusations, and we will we feel that he is being targeted and he is being turned into a victim, turning a victim to a villain. Said this all stems from a civil lawsuit that is being handled in civil court today. He will be vindicated, she added. Florino appeared to be referring to a 2021 Brooklyn Superior Court lawsuit by parishioner Pauline Anderson, 56-year-old, who accused Whitehead of swindling her out of her life savings. So you're telling me that, let me just take this down. So you're telling me that Bishop Whitehead is he really thinks this is because he's suing Larry Reed? He didn't even file that $20 million lawsuit yet. That's the part that's a bit confusing. Like he didn't even file that suit yet. So because he didn't even file the suit, what would make him think that Larry Reed is thinking about him? Okay, let me get some of your comments. Let me get some of your comments. Woo, child, the ghetto into Monday's show. He did, Miss Frizzle. He did get bond. This is from PSY Nunya says Bishop definitely not practicing what he's preaching. Alyssa said someone said he's out allegedly took $500,000 bond. Yeah, they were absolutely correct. Wow, wowee. I would love to. You think he's gonna? Well, he's not. These are federal charges, so he's definitely not going to get on Instagram. He's normally like heavy on Instagram. He's definitely not going to be on Instagram tonight, baby. Yeah. See, here's his. Here, let me zoom in for you. This is Instagram, and this was his last service right here in the yellow from Sunday, and he has not posted anything in his stories. Yeah, this is his only story that he posted today. That's it. But nothing else. So yeah, Bishop Whitehead. I don't see Bishop Whitehead getting on the internet bumping his gums because these are federal charges. These are federal charges. These are federal charges. Okay. This is not bloggers going after Bishop Whitehead. These are the federal prosecutors who already secured an indictment. So he's not going to play around on the internet with all of this. He better start talking through his attorney. Ooh. Oh, you mean when I said pray for him? Ciao. This from Brown Delight says, yep, his prior history was fraud before. So it's probably how he acquired his fortune by scamming the church folks. I can't remember what he got charged. He did like 11 years. He did 11 years in federal prison. Um, I don't know what it was for. I know it was fraud, but I don't think it was church folks. You guys, I don't think Bishop Whitehead was a church. He wasn't a pastor until he got out. So he wasn't a pastor when he got in, when he first went to prison. He wasn't a pastor. He was just a regular alleged scammer, but not anything else. This from Tasha Williams says he probably called for the reporters to come and watch him walk out. No, that's not true. In the Southern District of New York, the Southern District of the if you guys, here's just a brief history of the Southern District of New York. First, it used to be run by Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor in New York City. So you are a heavy hitter if you run the Southern District of New York, and if you get prosecuted by the Southern District of New York. It's the most popular federal courthouse where the most powerful prosecutors in literally the entire United States operate. That is where Al Capone, that is where most of the mob families were convicted, the Gottis. So the Southern District of New York, because of its heritage and because of the mammoth cases that it's taken over like 100 years, there's always paparazzi outside. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. There are always paparazzi outside of the Southern District of New York. So that's just a little bit of history lesson for you guys. So if don't ever think that, oh, he called paparazzi up. No, not there. So there's a number of courthouses that are wildly popular for paparazzi just to hang out all day. The Southern District of New York, the Fulton County Superior Courts, which is in Atlanta, and the Los Angeles County Superior Courts, which is in Los Angeles. So those are the three where you're probably going to see the main stake of a ton of cases. I hope that makes sense to you. Yeah. SDNY, no O. But yeah, yes, KP, correct. This is from Ray Bishop says he was convicted of multiple counts of identity theft. Thank you very much, Ray. Yeah, because he wasn't a preacher till he got out, and he used his "I'm gonna be a preacher, I changed my life over to Christ" as a way to kind of like a soft landing of him getting out of prison. So yeah, he wasn't a preacher till after. Now he might have been a church goer prior to going to prison, but he was not an ordained minister after the fact. Does that make any sense to anyone? This from PSY NUA says, wasn't it something related to scamming a vehicle or using someone's name? Yeah, identity theft. Okay. Yeah. Child. Hot ghetto mess. I'm a little confused, okay? Because I'm trying to figure out how my friend Larry Reed got even entangled in this. Like, is he that far off of the deep end that he would really thoroughly accuse someone of trying to um set him up for an okey doke? You see what I mean? This is from Alyssa. Alyssa says former president is being looked at the same district. So yes, big Fed cases there. Yeah, because Donald Trump is a crook. Donald Trump's nickname in New York is the King of Debt. He is. He's the king of debt or the bankruptcy king. Like that is literally his title in New York prior to presidency. Donald Trump is one of the biggest crooks of all of New York City. But people did business with them because people love crooks. They're sly and slick. You know what I mean? But they can cut you a really great deal. So people people still in New York love Donald Trump. They do, but to an extent, right? Because he's not into the business dealings like he used to be. He's more on the edge of retirement now. But prior to Donald Trump running for presidency, he was the king of New York. When you get all these rappers who come out here like, I'm the king of New York. No, you weren't. Donald Trump was the king of New York. He owned one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in all of New York City. He was wheeling and dealing with all kinds of Russian and Irish mobsters. Like Donald Trump was a literal king of New York. It just is what it is. But he's definitely a crook, or at least crooked, if you crook and crooked, if you will, right? Because that's just the name of the game in New York City, you guys. That's just the name of the game in New York City. This from VV says, YouTube, count your days. This is the last notification. I'm 30 minutes late. Ooh, child. You know we come here every day. You don't need a notification. It's the same day, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Okay, we're always here right on time. Okay, this is from Cookie. What's up, Cookie? Says, does your friend Larry know why we're pumping our fists for Whitehead on your previous lives? No, can you tell me? Are you a Whitehead? Now, Cookie. Now, now, Cookie. Does your friend know why you were pumping your fist for Whitehead on previous lives? Yes, he does, because everyone knows that I'm a literal researcher and analyst. That's just how it is, you guys. I'm just a research and analyst. When I analyzed Bishop Whitehead's robbery, okay, Cookie. I know, Cookie, you're good people. I know, Cookie. When we were analyzing his initial robbery, everyone, including a lot of you guys here, kept saying Bishop Whitehead was involved until it was proven that he was not. He was not involved, you guys. He was not involved at all. So it's okay for me to be like, I don't support that narrative. I don't think that he was involved, and based off of the evidence, it doesn't look like he had anything to do with it. He is quite flashy, so it is a good chance that people are going to target him. Now that's a real thing, but to say he was involved, that took it a bit step too far for me. So yes, he is aware that I was staunchly against that narrative that Bishop Whitehead had anything to do with that robbery. Yeah, the long-winded answer is yes. Okay. Long-winded answer. This one, Melissa says, what's up with the like buttons? Come on, y'all, smash that like button. Don't be ignorant. So yeah, so Bishop Whitehead, prior history of identity theft. Currently, he is being charged with all kinds of salacious stuff. Larry Reed has nothing to do with it. Okay. Larry Reed has nothing to do with that. He did not call the feds on him. The feds were already looking into him because that woman gave him $90,000. So she was already trying to get her money back. I knew that that woman was telling the truth when his ex-campaign manager, I think he was running for comptroller or mayor of Brooklyn or something. He was running for mayor of Brooklyn. He was running for something and a position. He hired a campaign manager. The campaign manager went above and beyond and did all the scope of his work, and he never paid him. And then when the campaign manager sent Bishop Whitehead the bills, a $5,000 bill that he had owed, he tried to say that, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Why are you asking me that now? You should ask me that 3 months ago. So Bishop Whitehead has a history of not paying what he owes. So when I heard that story, we read that story here at the Nosy Bystanders a few months ago, that campaign manager story. When I read that story, I was like, oh, Bishop Whitehead don't like to pay who he owe. And the Bible is very, very clear about paying who you owe. So the fact that he did that to that campaign manager, I could totally see him doing that. If he did that for $5,000, and Bishop Whitehead probably spends $5,000 just on lunch and dry cleaning alone, right, in a week. If he could do that for that little amount of money, imagine somebody asking him for $90,000. So there was no doubt in my mind that that woman's claim about the $90,000, as well as the ex-campaign manager who was seeking his $5,000 in back pay, there was no doubt in my mind that Bishop Whitehead just hates paying who he owes. You understand what I mean? Which is crazy. You said, Steph, you were on Bishop Whitehead's coattails earlier. That I'm not on his coattails if I'm analyzing each individual claim separately, you guys. Because one person is not guilty of something doesn't mean that they are automatically guilty of something else. You have to analyze those things anecdotally. They are isolated and by themselves. That robbery had nothing to do with him fleecing his campaign manager or that woman for a total of $95,000. That robbery had nothing to do with that. It just so happened to have happened. Okay, does that make sense? So that's not me riding his coattails. That's just me being objective. I'm just telling you how it is. Like, when it comes to any situation, you would not want anyone to judge you based off of something that occurred to you, right? Being a victim of a robbery, you wouldn't want people to judge you on that. Every single instance has to be analyzed anecdotally. So it's not riding his coattails. It's just me being objective. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with that. It's that simple. Okay. This ain't got nothing to do with that. That robbery was just quite coincidental. Okay. Even though it had nothing to do with him. But driving a Bentley into a lower impoverished neighborhood, you're bound to get some looky-loos. Okay. You're bound to get some people who are going to look at your case or look at you and see you as a target. So I don't want to victim blame him. He should not be victim blamed for being robbed. But at the same time, though, it's like he wasn't reading the room. It's like, read the room, man. You're in a lower income neighborhood pulling up in a Bentley and $1 million worth of jewelry. There's a good chance that someone's going to see you as a target. You know, I hate to say it like that, because it's just the world we live in. It's not to say that, oh, Bishop Whitehead it's his own fault he got robbed. That's not to say that. Okay. But at the end of the day, though, you got to read the room. The same could be said about people who end up in really bad situations, right? And you're just like, you got to read the room. You got to read the room. You got to read the room. It's giving, I know it's going to sound controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's the same argument about that you could see some people make on the internet when they're like, if I get passed out and drunk at a party, no one should touch me. And if I get touched, you're the aggressor. And they're right, you are. But read the room. Read the room. Don't get drunk in a place where you're not comfortable. Don't get drunk in a place where you don't know nobody. It doesn't take away from those two things. You're saying what I mean? Like, obviously, no one should touch you or violate you when you are inebriated. But in the same breath, right? In the same breath, you have to look at yourself and be like, why do you think that you are allowed to just be comfortable in a space that's foreign to you? No one should do that, because we know the world we live in. The world we're living is not going to just change overnight because Jessica or, Latera or Keisha said, I'm just get drunk at this random person's party. You can't do that. You can't just expect the world just to change because you decided to go have drinks that night. The world's not going to change that fast. It's about being responsible, and it's also about just reading the room. We live in a terrible world. And we should campaign all the time to live in a better place. But at the same time, until that better place is created, you got to read the room. Bishop Whitehead walking around in an impoverished neighborhood in an $800,000 Bentley and $1 million worth of jewelry was him not reading the room. Does that make sense? You got to read the room. You're probably going to get robbed doing stuff like that. All right. It's just being flagrant for no reason. This is from Tish says, you're a great researcher. The problem is people don't do research. They just run with whatever people say. Thank you, Tasha. Yeah, I do my best. I can only do what I can do. If most people can't see it from that perspective, I can't help them. It's that simple. It's not about emotion. It's not about none of that. It's just like, I'm just analyzing the situation anecdotally. It's an anecdotal observation, right? I'm just taking this isolated thing and I'm not trying to make them both related. Now, could in researching each thing, you could find a relation? Yeah. But you can't start off trying to build a relation, right? You have to analyze them individually. And by the time you come to your conclusion, you find out these two things mirror each other or they have a relation to one another, then you can use them. Like, okay, well, after I finished researching Bishop Whitehead, turns out that one of the guys who robbed him was his nephew. Now I can connect them together, right? Because they're just like, oh, that's a little close for home. And a strange coincidence that your nephew will be the one who robbed you, right? I'm just saying anecdotally, that's not true. That's not the case. Bishop Whitehead doesn't know those two men. But what I'm saying is you have to analyze everything anecdotally. And if you do find a conclusion, then you can mirror them together. But you can't just be like, oh, well, they're already the same. No, they're not one and the same. They're not. They're really not one and the same. They're two different things. But thank you again for that, Tasha. This from Black Miss Frizzle says, all Larry said was Whitehead spirit seemed off when he met him and felt like him. He may lie. He may have lied about the robbery. He did joke about it. Now, to be fair, Miss Black Frizzle, we watched that video with Larry Reed. He was joking about it. Remember, he had got on the floor. He got on his carpeted floor. Come on. Y'all didn't see that? Y'all didn't see that video of Larry Reed and that one lady, that one other pastor lady that Bishop Whitehead called Biggie Smalls. Remember that? Y'all, y'all remember that? That live stream literally set the internet on fire that night because not I saw that live stream everywhere. I saw that live stream everywhere. So I remember that one. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. This is from ES Renee says, first of all, can we talk about the sketchy name Bishop Whitehead? His name is Lamar. His name is Bishop Lamar Whitehead, y'all. That's his daddy's name. Okay. Okay, look. Final thoughts on Whitehead so we can get into Darius Cooks. Now, when we discuss Darius Cooks, well, we're going to talk about Bishop Whitehead, okay? Because Bishop Whitehead, he is a mess. He's a mess. I wanted to talk about Darius Cooks, but I didn't know Bishop Whitehead was going to get arrested today, okay? That's kind of where the conversation is going, okay? So I didn't know Whitehead was going to get arrested today. Hey, nobody knew that, okay? Larry Reed probably knew it. But not the rest of us, okay? Not the rest of us. This from Samantha says, love your lives, Steph. Love your lives. I think you meant Steph, right? Or Steph. I feel like you're my friend in my head. All facts every time. That robbery for Whitehead was his karma. Now that I can agree with. That I can agree with. I hate to say it because it sounds so insidious, right? That's your karma. But I mean, you fleeced an old lady out of her life savings, dude. Like, what did you know what I mean? Like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think that like bubblegums and roses were going to be brought to your front door? Like, you didn't pay your staffers. Like, you know? So what Darius Cooks do? No, it was just going to be an overall week of these male scamming, alleged scamming chefs. But Darius Cooks, he didn't do anything new as of yet. But we were just going to do just an overall discussion of him. But then Bishop Whitehead's story broke today. So I feel like we have to talk about Bishop Whitehead because it's Bishop Whitehead. He's so flashy and salacious. You understand what I mean? Darius Cooks is just another one. It's like they're the same. Neither of them pay who they owe, you know? Neither of them, they take money from people, they threaten people on the internet, you know? They're just like they're really one in the same. I mean, if you really think about Bishop Whitehead and Darius Cooks, they're really one in the same. They really are. And I hate to say it like that because it sounds so like bad, but it's what can we do, right? What can we do about that? This from Melissa says, yes, Larry is funny. Larry had me hollering, honey. Larry had me uh definitely hollering. Because it's just like it's safe to assume that, right? It is. It is safe to assume that. That because Larry said he met Bishop Whitehead in person, and what did he say? He said he felt like he was off or something. I gotta ask Larry, like, when you met Darius, when you met Bishop Whitehead, um, what was your initial first presumption of him? You know what I mean? Like, did he give you the ick? Did he feel like a fan, like he was fanning out over you? Did he feel like he was trying to size you up? Like, what was the whole scope of you understand what I mean? It's hard to explain, but like, what was the whole scope of how you felt about him, and what led you to your conclusion about him? You know what I mean? Like, what led you to that? Because I don't know. It's just crazy. It's to me, it's crazy. It is. It's Oh, here we go. Let me show you guys this. I want to show you this image. This is from New York Times. Who's this white lady? Oh, this is lawyer. Okay. I'm sorry. I just want to look at this picture. It's a really great picture. I mean, as great as it can be walking out of a district attorney's office. Oh, here we go. See, this is why I should have went to the New York Times website. It says here, because I wanted to read some of the charges and I didn't feel like going to pay for them. It says in the spring of 2022, according to the indictment, he tried to persuade a businessman to give him $500,000 and a stake in some real estate transactions. In exchange, he promised to secure favorable actions from the city that would make both of them millionaires, even though, according to the indictment, he knew he had no ability to deliver that pledge. Now, remember, he's friends with Bishop Whitehead is good friend. He's good friends with the mayor of New York, Eric Adams. Yeah, they're like best friends. Why would they say that he wouldn't be why would he say that he wasn't able to do that? Come on, man. What's this? Huh? What's this? What's this? Man, if they don't, y'all, they trying to this man. Okay, so if you don't know the backstory, let's take a stroll back. Let's take a stroll back. Okay, we got to go back to memory lane. We're gonna have to go back to memory lane because now it's all adding up. It's clicking. Okay, it's clicking, Steven. Okay, it's clicking. Hold on one second. Okay, so back in the summertime when we talked about this story, okay, back in the summertime when we talked about this story, people were trying to figure out, how does Bishop Whitehead know Eric Adams? How does he know him? This was when Eric Adams was running for presidency. People were scraping the internet to figure it out. Turns out Eric Adams used to be really good friends with Bishop Whitehead's dad. Duh. You know what I mean? But he was best friends with his Bishop Whitehead's dad. So if you guys don't know, Bishop Whitehead's dad was a regular repairman in the neighborhood of Brooklyn, and Eric Adams was a police officer. And Bishop Whitehead's father was killed in a bout of police brutality. It was like one of the biggest cases in New York when it came to when white police officers were actually prosecuted for murdering his father. And we're talking about in the 70s or 80s, you guys. So when Bishop Whitehead's father died, the Black Panther leaders and the leaders of the NAACP had went to the city of Brooklyn and they said, you need to start hiring Black officers. And Eric Adams, just a regular kid in the neighborhood, he was like 18 or 19 in the neighborhood at the time, had got approached by the NAACP and a bunch of Black Panthers and a bunch of like Black pro movement, and they were trying to recruit young kids in the neighborhood because of neighborhood policing. So there is a ton of studies that say that if the cops come into the police department and they're from the neighborhood that they are positioned to police, crime goes down and so does police brutality, because it's less likely an officer is going to kill his high school friend or someone he knew from high school. It's called neighborhood policing for a reason, right? The police officers should come from the neighborhood they grew up in versus police officers patrolling neighborhoods that are foreign to them. Does that make sense? So the Black leaders had reached out to Eric Adams as a teenager and was like, hey, instead of going to like Vietnam or anything, you should just be a police officer. And he was like, okay. So he did it. He became police officer because of Bishop Whitehead's father's death and the movement in the neighborhood. So that's how he got his career in law enforcement, because of Bishop Whitehead's father's death. So because of that, and him moving up into the rankings in the police department, as well as in politics, he always maintained a really close relationship with Bishop Whitehead, because Bishop Whitehead's father is essentially the reason why Eric Adams is where he's at, because your father propelled me to do this because of Black activists and Black leaders in Brooklyn. Okay. So hold on one second, let me pull it up. When this New York Times article says, and I'm just going to read it really quick. I'm not even going to pull it up. I'm just going to read it real quick. When this New York Times article says that in the spring of 2022, he asked a businessman to give him $500,000 for a stake in real estate. And in exchange, he promised him to secure favorable actions from the city that would make them both millions of dollars. The indictment says he wouldn't be able to deliver that, but we don't know that. We don't know that at all. We don't know what kind of dealings Eric Adams has with Bishop Whitehead and telling Bishop Whitehead he can leverage X amount of part of the city for his own dealings and get a kickback. We don't know that. I'm not going to rule that out because a bunch of prosecutors said so. Oh, prosecutor said so. So we should just believe them that Bishop Whitehead had no clout in the city. I'm not believing that for a second, as corrupt as Eric Adams is. You want me to believe that? I don't believe that. I think he was working with Eric Adams and he was going to leverage portions of the city in order to garner millions of dollars in deals. That was BS, right? The indictment goes on and it says that while the indictment does not name any city officials or specifically any actions it raised in question of the bishop's relationship with Eric Adams, who distanced himself from Bishop Whitehead on Monday. Oh, he only did it on Monday. So Eric Adams, you waited till today to separate yourself from Bishop Whitehead after the indictment came? What was you doing in the spring of 2022? Or were you using, because listen, believe it if you want to or not, okay? Believe it if you want to or not. Bishop Whitehead was wheeling and dealing in New York City real estate. Argue with your mamas on that one. He was. And he was using his connection to the mayor to do so. And now all of a sudden the mayor wants to distance himself from Bishop Whitehead, but you didn't distance yourself from him in the summertime. When all those people were coming out the woodwork saying he was scamming him, why didn't you distance yourself from him when that woman said that he fleeced her for $90,000? Hello? Why didn't you separate yourself when that campaign manager said he didn't finish paying out his salary for his work? Is there cotton in Eric Adams' ears or something? Come on, I'm not buying that. Let me get some of your comments and then we're going to finish reading the New York Times article. See, that's why I love New York Times, because they're going to dig, honey. Because they're going to dig. They about as nosy as we are. It's from Summer. This from Summer. Summer says, do you know how big his congregation is? It's pretty small. It's pretty small. It's very small. So most of his money comes from his dealings, whatever they are. B. Ashton says, Darius had time with the lady hiding in the bushes. Oh, yeah. This from April says, how the heck do people be giving their money away? I don't understand scammers and all, but darn it, people, keep your money to yourself. Well, when they're convincing, it's hard. It's hard, April, when they're convincing. This from Ray Bishop says, he said it in one of his lives that he felt that he felt like he was a scammer and a clout chaser. Talking about Larry Reed. Absolutely. Absolutely. One second. This from St. James says, you can always sense a fake. This is from Shanae says, so have you ever been scammed by Darrius, or are you just going by what people say? Shanae, are you new here? You're not new here. Are you new here, Shanae? I don't want to read you, honey. I don't. I hate to. You seem like a nice lady and you got a really nice profile picture. I'd hate to read you. I would. Because there's a lot in your statement that I don't know if it's for me or not. That is quite problematic. There's a lot of your statement that is really, really, really problematic. The fact that you only believe people who are adjacent to the victim and not the person who reports on it. We're an actual media company. We get every single right under the First Amendment to talk and discuss everything within our constitutional liberties. So we can talk about anything we want to talk about, right? Albeit slander and libel, which we don't do. Because again, I have a degree in political science. I know how not to slander and write libelous things about people on the internet. Okay. And the second thing about that is that I just want you to, you know what I mean? Like, I just want you to know that Darius Cooks is a gay man and he's never going to marry you. Okay. He's not. He doesn't know you exist. He has absolutely zero vetted interest in having a heterosexual relationship with you. So the fact that you're sliding across the internet caping for a complete stranger is bewildering to me when you're actually really beautiful. So the fact that you have to do this for somebody you don't know is kind of bizarre and it's really odd. So your energy would be best felt by just listening to the accounts that people have stated about Darius Cooks, which include, but are not limited to, him closing restaurants before issuing paychecks to his employees, him taking the tip pool from servers at his restaurants and not paying them back to him, firing employees who worked with him closely so he can host those Airbnbs and never paying them, destroying Airbnbs and never cleaning them or paying the service fees to have them cleaned. The facts that he goes across the internet and doxes his victims by issuing out their first full and last names and addresses, where I'm assuming supporters like you go and hound them across the internet. So because you're new here, we're going to be really nice to you. But I would really, 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 really tell you to tread lightly. There are no moderators and nobody's going to block you. So you're going to have to tread real lightly and you're going to have to come a little bit more correct before you say anything else as crazy as this. Okay. That's all I got. Okay, so I want to get back to Bishop Whitehead. Okay, so it says here, and I quote says, "I spent decades enforcing the law," and this is from the prosecutor. It says, "I spent decades enforcing the law and expect everyone to follow it," he said in a statement. "I also have dedicated my life to assisting individuals with troubled past. While those allegations are troubling, I will hold further comments until the process reaches its final decision." Oh, I'm sorry, that was from Eric Adams. Ooh, wee. Ooh, this is from, let me let me reread it. This is from Eric Adams, a quote from Eric Adams. He said, "I have spent decades enforcing the law and expect everyone to follow it. I have also dedicated my life to assisting individuals with troubled pasts." He's talking about Bishop Whitehead. "While these allegations are troubling, I will hold further comment until the process reaches its final conclusion." Mm, mm. Eric Adams is seamlessly done with Mr. Bishop Whitehead, which is kind of sad too, because he's known him since he was essentially a baby. You know what I mean? So it's kind of really sad that like their relationship had come to this kind of like crossroad. Um, it's really sad. Yeah, yeah. It's really sad. So we shall see. Shay, look, this comment is so big you can't even see my face. Now, I got half a brain to read it. I just don't want to, but I'm gonna go ahead anyway. You said baby girl, not your baby girl. My name is Chief. So Chief, I'm not defending Darius or you. I don't need you to defend me. I don't know if you could tell, but I've been defending myself a long time. You went on a rant, not a rant, and now you look bad. Okay. And sound worse. All right. A rant based off a question. You're definitely new here. Which answers my question. You weren't scammed. Got you. You just running your mouth. Again, still defending a man who won't marry you. Got it. Appreciate you, boo. Okay. And I know he's gay. I don't want him or you. That's a little troubling of a statement. Says, just want the truth and hate folks who spread lies. I haven't said anything about Darius Cooks, but I don't buy his stuff. So waste your breath that you need until later in life. This girl, the comment's so big, you can't even see my face. Everything about what you're saying is obviously a lie, right? I'm going to tell you right now, as a person who spends the better part of their life on the internet, I don't go across the internet defending people I don't know, nor do I support, nor do I actually give a rat's ass about anybody's opinions on someone who I don't support infallibly. So the fact that you are still here shows your support for Darius Cooks, whether you buy his products or not. The second thing about it is that the nature of your comments prove that you are more than a supporter. You're just some spinster hopeful, hoping that maybe in the future he questions his own sexuality for you. I don't know. But I can see that a mile away. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just Darius Cooks fans are unusual. They victim blame a lot. If you weren't scorned by him, then you don't get a right to talk. Even though we're a media company, we talk about literally everyone, okay, which is just strange. And two, when other larger publications talk about him, the fact that Darius Cooks fans don't go to the New York Times or go to the Washington Post, or the fact that they don't go to other big publications to air their grievances out for people talking about him is because they don't have direct access to them, right? She's in our comment section, right? So she has direct access and I can see her comments, but the New York Times can't. So she could leave thousands of comments across the New York Times article that discusses Darius Cooks, but no one will ever read it. So it'll fall into the ether of the internet. These people feel emboldened by the fact that they have direct access to you and how they support problematic people like Darius Cooks. Whether she wants to believe it or not, she does have a subconscious, and her subconscious is telling her that at some point in time, if she continues to cape really hard for Darius Cooks, somehow he'll fall in love with her. Wild, right? If you don't like that theory, argue with Sigmund Freud, not me. Okay. So they have this weird infinity to think that he's gonna fall in love with them because they're defending him across the internet, even though Darius Cooks is not Raven Simone and he can't see into the future, and nor can he see across all of the internet to see who's defending him. Okay. He's not that so Raven. He can't see into the future. He doesn't know you're here defending him. Give it a break. Okay. Give it a break. Give it a rest. Nobody, he doesn't care. And not that I don't care, because you're here. So I care about anybody who's in my comment section, but he does not care. Okay. Darius Cooks does not care about you, nor has he ever cared about you. And the fact that you are victim, even if I was a victim, the fact that you're here victim shaming his victims, his actual victims who have never been paid by him, is deplorable for you as a woman. You should be ashamed of yourself to even call yourself a woman. You should be even more ashamed of yourself to call yourself a Black woman, which is sad and scary. It is, and it's quite pathetic. It is. Let me get some of your comments. And not hers, okay? Skip past that. This from Paris says, no, they not trying stuff again. Tread lightly, honey. This from MI says, Steph just making Steph's hair grow. Yeah, for real, right? No, that's actually this. I'm not sponsored by them, but this Blue Magic, honey, is everything. This from Nosy Inquisitive says, Chief calmly reads. I'm just saying, I don't gotta yell to read somebody. And I do yell when I have to yell because I begin highly frustrated, specifically about that Shanquella Robinson case. But when these people who come in here supporting Darius Cooks, or who support any man who's a crook, an alleged crook, it's really pathetic and it's really sad because it's like, you're a woman. You should be sticking next to women, right? You should be sticking next to women. You're a woman also too. Like you should get up. Y'all, you're weak in the knees there, ma'am. Stand up. Be proud. Show a little pride in yourself. Show a little pride. This is from Cake Baker says, this is how you cuss a person out without cussing them out. It's the glasses. You guys, it's the glasses. This from El Renee says, it's always one windmilling in the chat for Darius. Darius Cook gonna keep one of his in the chat box, okay? He gonna keep one of his on guard anytime somebody about to talk about him, honey. He gonna keep one of his on guard, honey. This is from CRG says, sit and finish your food next time. I don't think she did, honey. I don't think she did. Yeah, it's just really sad. It's sad. She wrote a whole entire, it was a dissertation, if you will, talking about I don't buy his products, but you're here supporting him. You don't have to buy Darius Cook's products to go across the internet and harassing people about what they can and can't talk about. He's not the Dalai Lama. I don't know if you knew that or not, but Darius cooks lamb shanks and macaroni and cheese. He's not the Dalai Lama getting ready to ascend to nirvana. There's no need to defend him like the way that they do. There's absolutely no need for that. There's no need to be out here defending him the way that these people do, but they do, and it's scary. This from YMV says, Sinead already wrote that the first troll message and accidentally hit the send button too fast. Her fingers have been hovering over the send button. Got cramped. This is from Jocelyn says, just the laughing emojis. This from Nita Little says, nah, because the former restaurant employees can report Darius to the Department of Labor if that's true. They did. I mean, with the litany of civil suits he has against him for unpaid wages, you guys, it's as simple as going to the Fulton County Superior Courts, because that's where he's from, that Atlanta area, and just looking it up. It's not hard. Y'all just choose not to. I'm not a fan. You're a fan here. We appreciate you. Smash that like button on your way out and have a good day. This from Just Bougie. It's OMG. Anywho, Anywho, Nene Goat says she a sucker for Darius. She's something, honey. And listen, I don't know what it is. No, that's just Facebook rich-ish. On Facebook, you can leave full paragraphs. Facebook has no limit on characters. You can write as long as you would like. This is from Peanutters. Says, I'm confused how Mrs. Jackson got to the conclusion that she thought she wanted stuff. I don't know either. I don't know either. This from Tracy White says, that's weird. You keep bringing up that he's gay. To let you guys know, he's never going to marry you. I don't know if y'all are fully aware of Darius Cooks and his sexual orientation, but he's not going to marry you by continuously defending him across the internet. That doesn't get you one step closer to the aisle with Darius Cooks. So the way that you're defending him across the internet means nothing to him. He doesn't pay you. He doesn't check on you. He definitely not sending you a Christmas present. What you do for him across the internet does nothing for him. That's what makes it even more pathetic. It does nothing. He doesn't even know you are alive. He actually doesn't even know you exist. I don't know if you guys know that or not. You and Shay who keeps returning. He doesn't know you exist. This from Shay again, back at it again. Says clearly only me and Tracy have any sense. The rest of you, including the host, should have been swallowed. Thanks, Tracy. I don't know why you're still here, but smash that like button on the way out. Don't be ignorant. Okay. You heard Parrish. This from Statement 92 says, y'all need to go. It's the world's longest winded goodbye I've ever seen. This is from Noya. I hope I'm saying that right. Like Noya says he doesn't care that they exist. Not a lick. Darius Cooks does not care that you exist on the internet. If you don't make him $1, he doesn't know. He doesn't even know you exist. He doesn't know that you were birthed. He doesn't know about your children. He doesn't know about your nuptials with your husband or your partner or your spouse. He don't know any of that. He didn't know your birthday. He don't know nothing. So you defending him across the internet infallibly it's really sad because I'm not defending anybody on the internet who doesn't know me. Is that clear? Except it's some people. No, that's clear. No, let me take that back. I do defend people on the internet specifically about certain instances, right? So like on TikTok, we're covering the Megan Thee Stallion trial. So I'm defending Megan Thee Stallion. Actually, I'm just covering the trial, but I do defend her even though she doesn't know me because I'm defending this specific case. I'm not defending Megan Thee Stallion's character because again, I can't defend something I don't know. I don't know her character. She could be a horrible person. She could be like Darius Cooks and not pay her staff. She could beat her dogs. I don't know. So I don't defend Megan Thee Stallion's character. I just defend the anecdotes that are coming out about this trial. Does that make sense? So I do defend people across the internet, but I'm not defending characters I don't know. I don't know Megan's character. She could be a really horrible person. But again, that's not up for defense. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, I hope it does. This is from Peanutters says, Miss Jackson being crass and telling our mamas to swallow us. This is when Broderick Flower says, y'all going hard for a man who ain't seen you. Y'all going hard for a man who ain't sending you W-2s. I'm just saying. You said, not swallowed, honey. You heard what she said to us. She said we should have been swallowed. Okay. So, yes. So in conclusion, there I just can't. Sometimes I can't. Like, y'all, I just be trying. I be trying, but sometimes I can't. I wanted to get to this story here. But we didn't have time. We didn't have time to get to it. It was the Roland Martin did a 2-part series on Darius Cooks. I never watched it. It's from a few months back. And I just want to kind of like go over and analyze it. I love Roland Martin. I love him. I think he's so brilliant. He went to HBCU. He's like very smart. He's a political, I think he's like a political commentator or political analyst. He's like one of the two. Like a commentator would just be like, a regular person talking about politics, but I wonder if he's a political analyst. So I wanted to get into this in particular because it was so good and it looked so juicy. I never watched it, and I kind of wanted to blind react to it with you guys on what Roland Martin, what was he even getting into in this two-part series? I think a lot of people that came to Roland Martin because they were like, hey, can you cover this Darius Cooks guy? Because he is, you know what I mean? He's something else, but we just didn't get time to get to it. This is from Erica. We'll have to probably get into this tomorrow. But remember, Wednesday, we're sitting down with a legal analyst from NYU to discuss the Shankola Robinson case. This from Erica says, I left my butt off. Will you be going? Will you be going to win up in here? But smash the like button. This is from Lynette. Hello, Lynette. Said it's wild that you didn't even say anything about Darius Cooks before they got started, except that you were going to talk about him. I didn't even see them in the chat, Lynette. I didn't. Like, I wish you guys could see. I'll show you what my chat looks like. Okay. So you can see what I see. That's why sometimes I don't see it. So I'll take a picture and I'll share it on screen. So sometimes it looks like this. And then sometimes it looks like this. So I'm going to show you both. And then you'll be like, oh, so sometimes I can't see your comments. So sometimes it looks like this, right? I'm going to just show you this. Hold on, let me get rid of this off my screen and you'll see. So sometimes I can't actually see what's happening in the chat. So sometimes it looks like this. And sometimes your comments are they're just like blitzing. They're just like, and I can't get to them. So I have to slow it down. But if I'm not paying attention, I'm just not paying attention. I should be paying attention, but sometimes I'm not paying attention. So I apologize if I miss any of your comments. I know I miss a lot of comments. The comments do be going because y'all be having the time of y'all life. This is from Jackie. Jackie said, Team Meg. That's right, Team Meg. Shanae, girl. Telling us to, first of all, you told us our parents just swallowed us. Okay. I can pull up the messages. I still have them. You may not see them, but I still have them. I distinctively remember being told to be swallowed. Okay. That is defense. I don't know if you know what defense is, but that is in defense of someone. You said that you called us. I can pull up the chat. I really don't want to. I don't think it's necessary. And I hate to highlight you like that, but we know what you said. You said that we were miserable for discussing him, that we are not one of his victims. You asked, was I one of his victims? If I would have told you no, then you would have went on the attack. It doesn't matter if I'm not a victim. We are a legit media company, a registered one. Okay. We're a registered media company. We can talk about literally anything, right? Because we are granted First Amendment rights. We can do that. We can do that. I don't know if you ever read the Constitution. I encourage you to. It is the United States Constitution that is still standing, right? That is afforded to you. I encourage you to read it. We can do everything, but anything that is slanderous and libel, we cannot. No one has libeled Darius Williams. If we pulled up any of his court transcripts, if we would talk about all the people who have written proof and receipts from unpaid pay stubs, right? We can discuss that. What you're doing is defending a complete stranger. I don't understand how that part of that you're not getting. Like, you're defending a complete stranger and then you're trying to gaslight everyone and to say, I'm not defending him. Then what are you still doing here? You have literally said goodbye 4 times. I've seen it in the chat. So you're either leaving and you're going to have a real world discussion about Darius Cooks, or you're either staying, you're going to have a discussion about Darius Cooks, or you're going to leave. It's one or the other. But playing these kind of weird mind games, telling people, okay, we're leaving, I hope your parents swallow you, telling us these long drafted messages and then attempting to gaslight your way out of it, like, I'm not defending him, then what are you doing? Because at this point, you're starting to sound a little unhinged, and I'm a little concerned about your mental health. I am. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the comments are as well. Because Again, I'm going to tell you one more time. I have a degree in political science, which means that I have an understanding for analytics and research. You can't just pull the wool over my eyes. Like I don't understand what's going on. I'm not your everyday, regular, degular, butt hurt blogger who just talks about people because we hate them. I don't know Darius Cooks, but if he has been out here allegedly scamming and not paying his debts, which is causing harm to other people, we're going to talk about it. And someone like you and your good friend Tracy can't stop us. So you're either going to leave and smash the like button on your way out, or you're going to stay and just listen to it. We don't even have time. We've run out of time, yet somehow you're still here. After promising 4 times, you were leaving. So don't gaslight us again. Say I'm either staying or I'm going. But every time, honey, you're going to get read. It's just that simple. You're going to get read. You're going to get read. It's just that simple, okay? Because you wilding out and it's kind of fun, okay? You wilding out and it's kind of fun. Okay, let me get some more of your comments. Let me get to the super chat. Let me get to the people who actually pay to hear this. This is from Alyssa says, your reading is phenomenal. I appreciate that. It really just comes from the top of my head. Most of it is ad-libbed, you guys. Most of it's ad-libbed. This is from Shanae, but I appreciate that very much, Alyssa. This is from Shanae. Again, I'm just going to ignore that. This is from Pear says, Facebook ratchet. Girl, Facebook is the ghettoest of the trenches. I love Facebook, though. I didn't have Facebook for a long time. I think I got rid of Facebook in 2016. I think I just got it back this year. So I haven't had Facebook in 6 years. So I forgot how ghetto it was. Ghetto. This is from Nikita. I hope I'm saying your name right. Nikita says, that was the primary goal, to create a distraction so you wouldn't be able to discuss Darrius. That's okay. This is Chef Week. We're going to get into it's Chef Week. We're going to get into this video tomorrow because I want to talk about it. Oh, we're going to talk about it. You can't distract me, honey. Now, I know I sound busy, right? But we're going to talk about that video because I want to get into Roland Martin's analysis of what was going on. Now, I'll probably just pull out the pertinent clips from that because it's about 2 hours long. And I know y'all don't want to sit around. And I know a lot of you have probably already seen it already. This is from Vivi said, Steph, stop, I'm crying. This is from Statement 92 says, ain't left yet, child. No, she's I guess she like being read, or at least she likes the attention. You guys have to also understand too that like she's not going to leave because I'm giving her attention, which she doesn't get from Darius Cooks. So when she's in Darius Cooks comment sections and his Instagram live videos and his Facebook live videos, he doesn't even recognize her. He doesn't see her because his comments, like mine, are going, right? But I take the time to like read my comments. So she's sticking around because she's getting actual attention, which she doesn't get from Darius Cooks. So the best way to get attention is to go somewhere and defend him, or be the antithesis of the conversation. And that way it will click for the host to talk about you or talk to you. So this is nothing but just it's like a feedback loop, right? That's why she's sticking around, because she likes the attention. No one talks to her in her real life, which is sad, right? Because she seems like a nice lady. Nobody talks to her in her real life. The people that she has this vide affection for, right? Darius Cooks, or probably other weird celebrities. They don't know she exists, right? So she goes somewhere and be like, I'm going to defend them. What she's engaging in is what's called a parasocial relationship. It's a one-sided relationship, which are typically healthy, right? Because it's like, oh, I love Beyonce, so I buy Beyonce merch and I call it a day. When parasocial relationships get unhealthy is when they start to charge an attack about people and defending you, the person who doesn't know them, across the internet, right? It becomes deranged and diluted. So that's where her problem is. I already recognize it immediately. Like, this is a parasocial relationship. She has a parasocial mindset. The person who she has this vide affection for does not show her attention. So she's going to go somewhere where she is heard, right? And that's typically, parasocial relationships stem from individuals who suffer from social anxiety. So she probably doesn't get out a lot, which is normal, and societal rejection. So she probably has a really hard time in her dating life. And if she does have a husband, it's the simple fact that he probably doesn't show her affection. It's that simple. Okay. I'm not a clinical psychologist, nor do I claim to be one, but I encourage you guys to read up on parasocial relationships. This will lead you to not have arguments in the comment sections with random people, because sometimes you're defending something, but you don't realize the person you're arguing with is in a parasocial relationship with either their favorite content creator or celebrity. So you could be just talking about just regular, degular stuff, but their head is so warped that they think that by them attacking you, going in after you, that that celebrity or that content creator, that YouTuber, that Instagrammer that they're defending is going to notice it. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not joking, you guys. Yeah, big dreamer societal. So it's antisocial. I'm sorry, it's anxiety disorder. So typically they don't go out much. They don't interact much with other people, right? A lot of people have picked up on parasocial relationships because of the pandemic, right? Staying in a lot, perusing through the internet streets, scrolling through live streams and stuff of that nature, and that's how they built bonds with people they don't know. It's that. It is. Margaret said, "My lord, now she stayed long enough to get done." It's not funny. It's incredibly sad. It's not funny. But yeah, if she did stay long enough to get diagnosed, then maybe she could take the time out after this live stream and look it up. Like, wow, I'm actually in a parasocial relationship with a man who doesn't know me. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Now, I'm not going to lie. I know I'm in a ton of different parasocial relationships, but mine are healthy. They are. My parasocial relationships, you guys, are incredibly healthy. Like, I buy a lot of Megan Thee Stallion merch, but I understand that Megan doesn't know me. I don't know Megan. So I'm not going to go across the internet doing wild, crazy stuff and beating people up for her. I have a parasocial relationship with Young Miami or Carisha. I love Young Miami. I'm like obsessed with Young Miami. I have all the City Girl albums. Like, I love Young Miami, but I don't suffer from societal rejection and anxiety disorder or an antisocial personality disorder. So I understand that, like, I'm just a super fan. Does that make sense? It is what it is. So tomorrow, okay. Let me get some more of your comments and then I'll close out the show. How about that? This is from CRG says she can get all the attention she wants if she tells Darius to refund some money. Ciao. Well, I'm glad you love it here. This is from Black Miss Frizzle says Steph said, finish her. I'm dying. This from Summer says, did I mention I love it here? Yes, yes, ma'am, you did. This is from Makeup Loving Mama. What's up, Makeup Loving Mama says, not you spilling her life. I'm dying. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just she had to hear it from someone. So she probably had to hear it from me. This is from Burnett. Burnett said, child, y'all see her comments? She tripped, child. This is from April. April says, if I had some alcohol, I would drink. I would be drunk. Every sentence, I'm drinking. Marvelous. This is from Ayana. Says, this was a Dragon Ball Z fit and Steph won. This is from Peanut Riz. Every time I read your name, it makes me think about those mixed nuts from Costco that I really want to get. You got to maintain a healthy community with people, or else you'll turn into an internet weirdo. Yeah, you will. I couldn't have summed it up better. You will turn into an internet weirdo. You will. It's sad, but you will. Yeah. And with that, I'm going to finish out this last statement. It says, Shanae, don't you bring your tail here tomorrow. Start in trouble. Perfect sentence. Perfect sentence to close out the show. So you guys, tomorrow we're going to be going over this story here with Roland Martin. I'm going to pull out the pertinent parts, or at least I'm just going to timestamp them so we can watch them together. We're going to analyze it. Roland Martin does on his show Unfiltered, does an incredible job in a 2-part series going over basically everything that is wrong with Darius Cooks. So tomorrow, if Bishop Whitehead don't get on the internet tonight acting crazy, we're going to go over this Roland Martin story about Darius Cooks, because again, this is Chef's Week, and then we're going to analyze it for what it is. Shanae, if you decide to come back tomorrow, you're always welcome here. No one's going to block you, but just come correct, okay? Come correct. First, determine, and this is what I'll leave out with, determine why you have wagered your support for someone. The second thing you need to analyze, if you're still here, figure out if everyone who is thoroughly accusing Darius Cooks is wrong, or does Darius Cooks, does he have a vetted interest in making up these lies about these people, right? So you have to weigh your options. Is it an entire conspiracy against Darius Cooks, or could he be the problematic one? So you really just analyze him in and of himself. Separate your emotions outside of how you feel about him as a content creator and a cook, and really analyze, could these, for lack of better understanding, 35 different individuals who don't know each other over the span of 10 years who have done business with him, could they all have come together and colluded to lie about him? Or is he the one with the vetted lie? So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining Nosy Bystanders Live. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, here at the Nosy Bystanders. Okay. I'll see you guys again. Hold on one second. Before we go. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.